Okay, so today we're going to be talking GHD sit-up technique. We got Coach Chris here with us. And so there's really 4 things that I think about here. Arm action, leg action, vision, and breathing. So let's start with the limbs, arms and the legs. So go ahead and jump in there, Chris. We already got the GHD set up to approximately where I like it and where Chris feels comfortable, so this is good. We did that in a previous video, so check that out. However, assuming we got this set up correctly, just go ahead and go through a couple reps and let's just kind of pay attention to what his arms and legs are actually doing. You can see his knee kind of pushes down right through the middle of the range there. If you watch his arms, the arms stay straight the entire time. Go ahead and relax. So the knees are sort of a point of debate even between us two a little bit. However, there's one thing in particular that is super important, and that's that you maintain speed through the middle portion of the movement. So if at any point where you have the most gravity working against you, which is sort of when you're parallel or perpendicular with the ground, or parallel with the ground, that's gonna be really bad. Like, that's an expensive position to be in. So you wanna get through that as quickly as you can. Whether that means driving your knees down so that you can, again, kind of accelerate your way through that portion of the movement, that's totally fine. If that means maintaining a similar knee position the entire way and just really thinking about being active through that, that's totally fine too. However, you want to make sure that you're moving quickly through that middle portion of the range. The arm straight is something that we've seen from a lot of the elite athletes that we think is super important and something that more people should mimic versus laying back like this. You want to try to do a couple reps like that where you really exaggerate the arms laying back and bending a lot. So what that's doing is it's making the moment arm of this movement longer and it's being more expensive. There's more of an eccentric catch at the bottom. That's way more of an expensive way to do it. If you see a lot of the elites who've done a lot of GHDs, most of them keep their arms really straight. However, they keep it as close to basically below this position right here the entire time. Like, they don't come way up over the top. It's more like a snow angel where it's out and around, and they keep those hands in really nice and tight. So that's the arms and the legs. Next is vision. So when you end with a movement, you either want to look forward or maybe at the foot pads, somewhere sort of neutral where it keeps your head in alignment. And when you lay back, it's the same thing. You want to keep that chin tucked. The last thing you want to do is look back at the wall behind you or at the floor. The floor will be there. It's not going to move, right? You want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to maintain that same head position where you're not changing and altering it a lot. So go ahead and just go through a couple reps again. Yep, good ones. I just want you to see where his chin position is. We were talking about this, you can almost see your own belly button when you're looking in the direction that you're looking. So you're looking almost up at the ceiling, maybe forward a little bit. Now, go ahead and just do 1 or 2 where you're looking back when you do it. That's really dizzying. It's not a comfortable thing to do. It feels much less sustainable overall, okay? And then lastly would be the breathing. In general, you want to inhale as you lay back where you're losing that tension, and right as you go to catch tension, you're going to hold your breath for half a second. Maybe not half a second, but you know. And you'll sit up, and as you sit up and you become detensioned, that's when you'll exhale. If you get super exhausted when you're doing these, where your rate of the actual GHD starts to slow down, and you're at a really high just work rate overall, in other words, you're starting to slow down, you're super fatigued in workout, maybe just got off another really taxing piece, you might have to take an exhale, an inhale, an exhale, and an inhale again as you sit up. So in other words, 2 breaths at the top of each movement, because either way, you're still gonna have to kind of hold your breath in the bottom. However, for elite competitors, they probably also have elite fitness. They don't necessarily need to do that. They can usually maintain 1 breath for each rep of the GHD, and that's a pretty sustainable thing. And they can also move through the reps pretty quickly, so it's not something where they're gonna get bottlenecked in that way. So that's GHD tips.